I was founder of a company for even 1 year, 2 years, the respect for that candidate is actually higher today. That's the truth, right? Because there is a lot of respect for just people who have gone through that journey. But success, failure is immaterial. If you say I have a 10-year career, right? With every 1.5 years I've switched. It's very hard for you to build a story saying ki this is what I've done in my life. Many successful entrepreneurs today have had multiple failures before they've started this. And this is what I learned at VC. When you're outside, you don't hear it this way, but inside you hear this, that you are trying to sell a bag of money to an exciting founder, because exciting founders and companies have multiple options, right? So you're trying to say why they should be working with you, right? And trying to invest into them and grow together as a partner with them.
Tell me a little bit about the growth story of Zook. You know, you said that you joined at a time when maybe it was the hardest time for you guys, right? To give it a perspective, what exactly is Zook? How is it a differentiating product that you guys are working on? And how did you go about thinking that, अच्छा, इसका market है, इससे कुछ बन सकता है?
No, so I think at Zook we are trying to build a large global lifestyle brand from India, right? Today our first set of products is in the bags and wallets and accessories category. What we do differently is, one is that we are a PETA approved vegan brand, so all our products are responsible products. And second is we're a proudly Indian brand. In fact, we've been saying that for a few years now, right? Idea is to say, can we take the Indian sort of design and look and feel, not just made in India, but Indian look and design and feel, and put that in our products in every category that we do. A lot of support from customers. And in fact, they've been the ones who've been gracious enough to accept a differentiated product. We've grown to about 1 lakh plus happy customers now. Right, and yeah, we continue to grow from there.
ये debate आती है, I mean, because you know people go out in markets, people get counterfeit bags, people get leather bags, people get bags that they have always seen in their lives, right, or wallets for that matter. और लोगों को फर्क पड़ता है whether it's a vegan brand or you know animals are being killed for a particular product that they are using.
See, entrepreneurship is a life's work. Right? I always, somebody says, यार मैं 1 साल के लिए, you know, try करूँगा और फिर ये. I say, no boss, give it 10 years of your life, success will come to you, right? Be at it, right? I mean, it's like this, right? At one point of time, Travis Kalanick was running Uber, $63 billion company, right? But that was his third company, but you can't start with your third company, right? You have to go through one, go through the other, and then come to the third one. So that person, if what he's built is massive, right? And if he takes 3 takes, who are we, right? हमने कुछ भी नहीं किया है, right? So that's where it was, and we said, if it's our life's work, what do we, like, we didn't want to put our names to something which was associated with animal cruelty, because our bags देखते हो, immediately you start researching on all the materials. Both of us are engineers, so we try to deconstruct the product and understand क्या materials जाती हैं, how they're made, and we realized we don't want to put our names. That's how it started, to be honest. Design philosophy was always going to be very Indian. मतलब वही हमें आता था, right? We're not sort of designers by education, right? But we said यही आता है तो इसी के साथ करेंगे, and that's how it started. And then we started spreading the message. It got us good support. We still have a long way to go. We're still a very small brand, right? We want to create something really massive, and yeah, that's where we are.
So you said that you are still a small brand. If somebody is thinking of starting something of their own, what is the logical step? Where do they start? And how do they build from where they start?
So I think one of it is to say, first and foremost is, what are the parts that you are very passionate about? Because startup is not easy, right? But problems will come every day, right? So one is, you'll have a lot of these problems, so you have to be very passionate about what you're working on. So figure out what are you passionate about, right? And I right now not say what's the size of the market, what's the gap in the market, वो सब तो मैं आया नहीं हूँ. You have to first find out what you're passionate about, because size and gap तो बहुत सारी हैं, भर भर के मिलेंगी आपको, right? But you have to be passionate about the problem. Second one I always say is, how big do you want a startup to be? How big do you want your sort of startup to be? Because like somebody who's running this space is also doing well. Somebody running a kirana store is also doing well. Somebody running a large fintech business is also doing well. And somebody running a massive cabs business is also doing really well. You have to define what are you happy with in terms of a successful business, because that is very critical. Otherwise, you can stray a lot into, अरे उसको funding मिल गई, उसको नहीं मिली, ये मिली, वो, you'll stray into that, and that will give you a lot of heartburn. What should actually hurt you is, why are your new customers not happy about this, right? What can I do to make them happy? So those sort of things get sorted when in your mind you're clear कि मुझे ये बनाना है, ये size का बनाना है. Then everything else will follow through. But these two are fundamentally important to think about.
Any skills that they need to acquire in the kind of times that we are living in? If for suppose my product energy drink बना रहा हूँ, that's my startup, right? अभी ये energy drink को मुझे लोगों तक पहुँचाना है. What is the logical step towards that? और मुझे क्या क्या skills आनी चाहिए for that?
I mean, you asked a really non-sportsman person how to sell energy drinks. So chalo, let's take a shot at it, right? So see, first and foremost, you have to be very passionate about the product. There is no two ways about it, right? So are you either skilled in understanding how that product is made, you might have studied something, or you are so nice to yourself saying कि मुझे नहीं आता, I'm going to keep depending on an expert to do this, right? So hence you are very good at reaching out to people saying कि नहीं, I want the person who made Gatorade or somebody, I want to reach out to them. भले वो US में हो, मैं ping करके उनको पेन मारूंगा कि मेरे साथ कॉल पे करो. That is also a skill. Realizing what you're good at and realizing where you're totally bad at, right? And substituting where you're bad at with finding good people. Then you have to convince them to join you for anything, from a 30-minute conversation to 1 month internship to 3-month consulting to, for life, right? So that is the starting point to understand product, because without product, it's very hard to build, right? Then comes distributing it, right? Think about where your customers are. Don't think about, I need to get to 10 crore customers immediately. वैसे नहीं सोचना. You want people to try out and see how it goes. The nearest folks are your friends, family, relatives. उनको convince नहीं कर सकते हो तो then it's very hard, right? So there you bank on your own trust. कि they trust me, so they trust the product I make. Can you convince them to try the product? Another thing is, I would say, don't depend on surveys, right? Don't show them 2 photos and say, will you buy this or will you buy that? But no, actually give them a product and say, how much will you pay for it, right? Push them to pay for the product, because किसी से 1 रुपये भी लेना ना बहुत painful होता है, right? It takes the same amount of effort to get them to pay 1 rupee or 1,000 rupees or 1,00,000 rupees, right? At least the bare minimum friction point is the same. So figure out what went well for you from a customer point of view. Second is then to realize what did not go well, because those are things to improve on, right? And then you build on top of that one by one.
Superb. And that's where Altuni also comes in. We are continuously, helping students to understand and learn about these skills, about, how do you become digital ready? How do you get into digital marketing? There are finance courses that we are offering also. There are industry experts who are taking these programs, masterclasses and courses where students are joining in. And in 2 years, Altioni has seen over 2,000 alumni members, 2,000 students have taken these courses. Moving on in our, conversation, do you think, a lot of courses, a lot of material, a lot of gyan is available, right? For free, right? And लोग देख भी रहे हैं और देख के उनको लग रहा है कि अच्छा ये देख के तो मैं startup बिल्कुल बना लूँगा. Should they be doing that, or there has to be a lot of homework before that they need to do?
Like you said, there's a lot of content out there, right? No doubt about it. But then some people tell you things like, I went through this content and it helped me in this way. That is very critical, कि somebody has gone through it. And then from there you can sort of take it ahead. You might say कि, hey, this is something that I want to learn more about, right? And then they can do one of your courses there to say, okay. If it's sort of, I don't know, you said digital marketing, right? Extremely critical. मतलब marketing में हमें digital marketing सिखाया नहीं था in our MBA, right? We're doing courses which are still offline heavy, etc. at that point, right? So you want to learn something like that, but learn it from somebody who's teaching you something more practical, right? If they say this will help you understand how to do this, and if they have folks who have then gone on to do that as alumni in organizations are really driving that, then that's a better course to do rather than just sort of seeing videos. you won't get a real sense of that. You need to work with people who have, what I like to say, have owned that metric, right? Who've gone through that journey, who have to do the same thing that you need to do when you join an organization, etc. So those things help.
And right now, as we are speaking, you're being very modest about, you know, your startup that you're working in. How big is Zook? When you started, how big was that? And today, how big is that? And what are your aspirations and future goals with that?
Like I said, we have about a 1 lakh plus customer base now, right? We're growing fast, we're growing as a brand, right? Both externally from what customers perceive, and internally also as a team we're maturing, we have more folks joining in, etc. I think when I entered in, we were at about 10,000 customers, right? So we've grown about 10-12x from sort of pre-pandemic to now. Aspirations are big, yeah. Very honestly, I think we're on to something interesting where we feel that there is definitely a space for a large lifestyle brand to be built. Bags, wallets being our first category, we'll launch more, etc., and then grow from there, right? And that's the thing, when we started, we didn't think it will be that size, but as you keep building and you get a lot of customer love, you continue building on top of that.
Startups, जब आप शुरू करते हो, when you think about your product also, I think the first thing that comes to your mind is इसको niche base बनाना है या फिर इसको सबके लिए बनाना है, right? How do you come to that conclusion कि उसको niche base बनाए या नहीं? Because अगर आप niche के लिए बनाते हो, then you know for a fact that ये audience तो मेरी definitely खरीदेगी, right? और अगर ये आप broad audience के लिए बनाते हो, आपको पता है कि 10 brands already इसके लिए बना रहे हैं, right? So how do you make that decision?
Like I said, you distribute your energy drink to 5 people and suddenly you realize that folks who play badminton on Saturdays are drinking the energy drink more or enjoying it more or they're taking more of it, right? Then you go after the badminton audience कि भाई मुंबई में जहाँ पे भी बैडमिंटन कोर्ट है, Paul is sitting right outside there at sort of 10 a.m. saying energy drink for all, right? And buy 2, get 1 free and all of that he's doing, right? To get the energy drink. So that is your go-to market with that. Once you do badminton, बाजू में आपके पास tennis court है, some 2 more people are playing in the sun, you say, अरे why don't you take? The niche is a starting point, right? Because you can't say, okay, energy drink for India, let's go, right? Go where, what, right? So you start with something small, you keep building on top of it. And it's a learning experience actually, right? I mean, again, we also, like I said, we're actually small. We need to understand how it goes as we scale up, right? But we're confident about the product that we'll make the right product, right? And then we'll take it to our customer base. And amongst other things, I think it's also today, while digital is there and you can sit out of Mumbai and serve a customer in Meghalaya or whatever as well, it's important to keep your TG very similar because what works for one audience might not work for the other. So finding a new customer base is very, very hard. Giving the same customer base more products, we feel is a little bit easier, right?
You left the opportunity of being a management consultant, right? Right now, where you are, do you ever think that, if I would have taken this, then my life would have been different, my life would have been better? Do you regret that decision?
Life would have been different, better I have no, but typically I have no regrets. It's been good otherwise also, we've learned so many things, been able to build something new is very exciting and we're on to something which will definitely become bigger. So no regrets. Would it have been different? 100% it would have been different. Would I have learned more things there that I have not learned from here? Yes, I would have learned completely different things from there. All of that will happen, but no regrets.
The theme of this particular Conversations Cafe, as we have kept, is the $1 million skill. जैसा आपने बताया कि आपके IIM अहमदाबाद के टाइम पे आपको डिजिटल मार्केटिंग सिखाया नहीं क्योंकि मे बी आपके टाइम पे डिजिटल मार्केटिंग इतना इंपॉर्टेंट था नहीं. What according to you would be the skill, the $1 million skill for the next 5 years, 10 years that is coming, that would be in your opinion?
I think just to keep an open mind, I would say, is a more bigger because today is digital marketing, 5 years down the line it might be Web3, 10 years down the line we might all forget AI, ML would be by default be there and that might become obsolete. So we don't know, but you just need to keep an open mind to learn new things. That is how I look at it because skill requirement also changes drastically. I think while you're also trying to learn and upgrade yourself, be very hungry and ambitious about having to build something of myself, right? Don't forget that, right? And the third piece is, and this is very overrated, 1 साल और लग गए, 2 साल यहाँ लग गए, माई बैचमेट्स और पीपल हु आर इन माई सेम कॉलेज आर हियर, आई एम हियर, वो 100% सबके साथ होने वाला है, राइट. देयर विल ऑलवेज बी समबडी अबव, बिलो, इन वॉट एवर मेट्रिक ऑफ हैप्पीनेस. मतलब आई लाइक टू से दिस कि यू माइट से समबडी इज this big, इतना बड़ा बना लिया, rich बन लिया, but then the happiest person is Dalai Lama, for example, right? So there are different metrics of happiness and success for different people. Don't compare yourself to others, right? This is going to happen, and this is another thing that they teach you at McKinsey कि यार होने ही वाला है ये सब. Just keep seeing कि are you doing better than what you were doing last year? I think that is also very important. Then things become easy. You don't worry about अरे 1 साल यहाँ चला गया. You have such a long career, and all of us here, मतलब like if you are here early morning to hear somebody boring like me here speak, then you guys are going to be working very hard and for long. So then don't worry about a few months here, few years there, etc. Life is long. All of you will do wonderfully well. So just be at it.
At this moment, I am going to open the floor for audience members. You guys have heard patiently.
My name is Ansari Ahmed Raza and I'm from Thane. So I'm aspiring to get into a B school this year. So you have said that you have a vegan brand and that sort. But are you looking forward to it, to making it a luxury brand, or are you looking at it like making it exclusive or like marketing it so that like everybody talks about it?
Any brand, be it in the value segment, mass premium, luxury, etc. They want everybody to be talking about it. That is there for sure, right? Luxury brands require a certain sort of DNA to be built, right? Currently we don't have that, right? So we're not going into the luxury segment yet, right? Like one of the core things of sort of when you ask about luxury is it needs to have that vintage here, right? I need to be able to say since 1825, right? I can't do that, right? Matlab, we didn't start the brand at 18 from 1825, so that's not there, right? So that's why we are in a particular segment that we operate in. Having said that, we want everybody to know it. Like I'm also here talking about Zook so many times so that all of you know about it, right? Boat also wants to do the same thing. It's not like only certain folks in India know it. Everybody knows it, and they've built an outstanding brand, amazing execution in what they've done, right? But we, like I said, we have a certain TG, right, whom we are building towards. Like for example, Paul's energy drink, he's going to Thane in a badminton court over there and selling, right? He's not going into sort of Renaissance ka badminton court and selling. There he might be like Paul's energy drink, right? Right? Not for everyone or something like that, right? So that's the difference, right? You pick your TG and you build over there. I think that is what we are on to today.
Hi Pradeep, I'm Prajwal Langde and I live in Mumbai itself. All right, so you mentioned that during your journey at the first startup, you were responsible for handling the whiteboards and then the flyers, etc. So did it occur to you ever that, hey, I'm a grad from IIT, IIM, I've worked with McKinsey, best of the best probably in the country, and I am doing things that are seemingly trivial. What am I doing in life? I should be doing or taking up better responsibilities, probably handling the company strategies and all. Did it ever occur to you?
Not really, to be honest, right? The whiteboard is also important. Like I said, it's very important. I'm telling you guys, you're like underestimating it.
Even I'm a fan of whiteboard.
On that whiteboard, the strategy will be built. Primarily because a startup requires multiple things to be done, right? And hence you approach it. And again, I'm not saying you spend your first month setting up the whiteboard. Then they are not going to take that leap of faith with me for sure, right? But you have to be open to doing any and everything to make your brand grow. Like, for example, again, I'm going to go back to your energy drink example, right? If he is not the expert in making the energy drink and the energy drink expert comes in, right? He or she might say कि मुझे ये चाहिए अभी, right? Like he might say मुझे एक glass दे दो. आप थोड़ी बोलोगे यार glass मैं थोड़ी लेके आऊँगा. You'll be like, I have to make my brand work. आपको glass चाहिए मैं अभी glass लेके आता हूँ. एक चाहिए, दो चाहिए, पांच चाहिए, 10 चाहिए, right? That's what it takes to make the brand a success, right? So you have to get into the nitty-gritties over there.
Good morning, sir. My name is Atharv, and I also reside in Bombay itself. I have a question that there are many entrepreneurs out there, many young people who have great ideas. But since past 2 years, many brands fall down. Many businesses have been shut. So there is a fear inside them. Like if we go on board, maybe we'll get down within 2-3 months or before even before knowing other people's making market or something. So how will you encourage them
So few things. First, you figure out what is it that's going to encourage you, right? But even in the employment market, if you say, I was founder of a company for even 1 year, 2 years, the respect for that candidate is actually higher today. That's the truth, right? Because there is a lot of respect for just people who have gone through that journey. But success, failure is immaterial, right? That is one. So if you're saying, hey, my safety net ye hai, that is taken care of from that angle. Second is, of course, you are in a high risk space where some will succeed, many will fail, right? That's fine. So what? Many successful entrepreneurs today have had multiple failures before they've started this, right? Doesn't matter. You learn something new from it. Your risk-taking ability needs to continue. Like I said, you're not in it for 3 months, right? You're in it for 10 years. Abhi 10 years के लिए है तो फिर होगा ही ना. मतलब it's like you're doing a 4-year engineering course. एक में 80 लग गए, आप engineering थोड़ी बंद करते हो, right? इसलिए okay, अब अगली बार पार कर लेंगे, बाकी तो पार हो गया. But that will happen, यार, and it's fine.
Hi sir, hi Paul. This is Soumya. I am a final year engineering student in Mumbai. My question is, it's very difficult nowadays to start up with an idea because there are n number of startups to a particular idea. Like your startup also, there are a lot of competitors to your startup, you know. So I just want to ask, what made you that, you know, what gave you that confidence or that leap of faith कि नहीं यही करना है, ये चलेगा market में? Because it's very difficult to understand the market right now. Was it something in your product, or was there a hero product you had? Or you know, maybe there was this safety net also, as you mentioned right now, कि okay, नहीं चला तो I can, you know, get back to my job because I had that IIT IIM tag. I am relevant in the market right now. So just wanted to ask.
I am relevant in the market. Each one of you is relevant in the market, right? And each one of you is just 6 months away from being relevant if you are not relevant in the market, because you can go do a course and become relevant really fast. So please don't worry about that, right? The biggest confidence actually is India, to be honest. Itna large market, itne sare log hain, right? If you define what is your area of success. So let's say Paul now energy drink says, I am going to open my first store in Mumbai. Are you worried that Paul will not have enough customers for one store in Mumbai? Knowing Paul, I think he'll do whatever to bring, अरे आपने energy drink try क्यों नहीं किया life में? क्या चाय पी रहे हो? Energy drink पियो यार, try करो. You'll do that, right? That is not a worry. That's why I'm saying कि competition, etc. will always be there, right? You have such a large market. You to need only such a small piece of that market to start karo na. Then you figure out ki what is it that they're liking, what is it they're not liking, and build for that customer. Without having a good product, you cannot succeed. Whether Paul might have amazing skills to bring everybody in Worli into his store, but energy drink to fika hai Paul, to fir nahi chalega, right? So that you anyways have to solve. So solving for a good product, you have to do. Solving for those customers and making them happy, you have to do. So those things are inevitable. Whether there is competition, whether there are 100 people for the market, 1 crore people for the market, 100 crore people, all of that is immaterial in my opinion, right? So that's how I look at it always.
I am your consumer and I'm a follower, you know, of your brand on Instagram. With, you know, with bags and accessories, it's more about how do you style it and, you know, does it look good with your clothes, etc. और आपका वैसे भी बहुत इंडियन है, तो how do you like convince office goers that, you know, this will go with your outfit, etc.
Yeah. So what we tried to understand was any product in this space is of 3 broad types, right? One is you have the classic, second is you have something trendy, and third is a fad. So for example, let's take jeans, right? The blue jeans is your classic. Every wardrobe has a blue jeans, right? किसी ना किसी के साथ चला ही जाता है वो, right? So it's a classic. It stays for 20 years, 30 years. अभी तो हम लोग धोते नहीं तो और भी लंबा चल जाता है, right? The trend will be somewhere, I don't know, say some film star wore something in maroon, so maybe the maroon jeans came out. It'll last for some time, right? The fad will be भरपूर फटा हुआ, यहाँ से cut, वहाँ से cut, but it appeared somewhere, so it was there for 3 months and then it will vanish away कि ये हो गया, right? The most distinct one I remember is, so we operate on the classic side, right? Many of our products have been there for a long period of time. We try to collaborate with influencers who try to you know, share how they style the bag with different attire, be it for sort of their formal office wear or something more casual or for a party, etc. Most important thing beyond all of this is keeping it very simple. We speak to customers, we ask them, where do you use the bag? And they say, this is typically for this is my everyday office bag that I carry. capacity. So that's where we've been, and that's the understanding we've got, right? And that's how we'll position the brand also, right?
Hi Pradeep, I'm Granth from Vapi, Gujarat. So looking back at your journey, you started with engineering, went into management consulting for a brief period of 2 months, yeah. So you explored that, then you went to a different role at Airbus. Then you, for like 1 to 5 to 2 years, each of your journey in different roles has been around like nearly 2 years. You tried venture capitalism, which is totally different from what you have been doing. So if we see a different role at Browser Stack, so all your roles have been like quite different. Usually what we see is that a person starts in a particular department, rises there up from there and aims at doing that. But you try to like, venture out to different areas and try to explore that. So were those transitions difficult? And were they out of like your curiosity that this is going on in the market, so I should explore, or I have been passionate about it? So how did you go about that journey?
No, the transitions have been easy for me, difficult for my mom, right? She also says, "Ye kya hai, tum idhar se udhar udhar," right? So that's very valid, right? No, yeah, I think I've been trying to find what is right for me, right? I think over a period of time you realize the sector might be different, what you're working on might also be different, but what you might actually be liking is the people you work with, right? That's what I've tried to over-index on at all points, even at Zook. The people we meet with, are they the folks we want to build together with or not, right? Bhale hi baki cheeze we can discount a bit, but this is important for us. So that's what I've realized. So ऐसा नहीं है कि plan था कि ये करेंगे फिर कुछ और कर लेंगे फिर कुछ और ही कर लेंगे then we'll bungee jump into something else. No, nothing like that. It's just been going with the flow, but meeting and working with people whom I enjoy working with has been the most critical criteria.
Superb. Thank you very much, Pradeep, for your time that you have given us today. It has been a very insightful session, very entertaining and engaging also. When you have those degrees at the back of your shoulder, you carry a baggage, you carry a load as well that you have to meet whoever you meet. And that's exactly where we come in and we tell people that, there are different journeys in the world also. And that's why you need to know those journeys as well. And that was the attempt that we made. And that's why we called Pradeep here. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Give him a big round of applause, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul.